Good morning and welcome to School of Rock this morning. This morning we're going to be thinking about invitations. And I've got an invitation just here. It says to you, you are invited. But it doesn't say where you're invited to. It doesn't say what it is. What would you like it to be? What would be your best invitation? Where would you like to go? I wonder who you would take with you. Would it be a surprise? Would it be a party? Would it be going out for the day? What would you like an invitation to? This morning we're going to learn all about invitations and a special invitation that we have had to be invited to the King's party. We're going to start with some music. Here's Tina with a song for us.
Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He is higher than the skyscraper.
This morning we're going to have a story, and our story is taken straight from God's Bible, and it's from a book called Luke, and it's a story all about Jesus and his special invitation to us. Now in the story, Jesus is at the house of a Pharisee. Now a Pharisee is an expert on the law. That means somebody who remembers and knows the Ten Commandments and other laws that the Jews followed at that time. And they were trying to trick Jesus a little bit, but Jesus was very clever in the way that he spoke to them. And when they were just about to have their dinner, Jesus noticed that the guests picked the place of honour. And he told them this story. This is a parable. It's a story that we will understand on earth, and it's about our daily lives and things that we know, but it tells us about something special in heaven. And so we're going to listen to Jesus' parable right now. He said, "When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not take the place of honour, for a person more distinguished than you might have been invited. That means distinguished means somebody more special or more important to the people who were getting married. If so, the host who invited both of you will come and say to you, "Give this person your seat." And then they will have humiliated you. That means made you feel really silly in front of other people. And you will have to take a less important seat. But when you're invited, take the lowest seat possible. That means probably the seat furthest away, the seat that nobody else would want to sit in. So that when the host of the wedding comes over to you and says to you, "Friend, why don't you move up to this better seat?" then you will be honoured in front of everybody else invited at the wedding. It says, "For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." This means that people who think more highly of themselves than they should could be made to feel a little bit silly. They could be humiliated in front of people. Whereas those people who don't think highly of themselves and always put themselves last, Jesus wants to make sure that they are celebrated and that they are shouted about in front of lots of people. A little bit like if you're at school and you're trying really hard with your work and a teacher might put you on a special assembly, a special mention or a golden wall to say how brilliantly you've been. That's a little bit like what Jesus is suggesting. He's saying to us, try your best, put your head down and work really hard, and you will be noticed and you will be honoured for what you've done. Jesus went on to say that when you give a lunch or a dinner, don't invite your friends, your brothers or your sisters or your relatives or your rich neighbours. If you do, they invite you back. But when you give a banquet, invite poor people and crippled people and lame people and blind people, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. That means that the things that we do are not just about our friends, not just about people who can do things for us, but what Jesus invites us to do is he invites us to do things for people who can't give us back, who maybe they haven't got any money or they don't have lots of friends. And he asks us to make sure that we are kind and we are generous to those people, so that when we get to heaven and we're invited to Jesus's banquet, then our place will be at the top of the table where he invites us to sit because we've done good for him and to him.
Clap your hands, everybody! Let's sing the word. Let's praise him. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise his name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna get in the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise his name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna get in the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I'll run this race and I will never stop. Follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you got such a lot, when you got not a lot, what? Behind me. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna jump in the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna jump in the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I'll run this race and I will never stop. Follow Jesus can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you got such a love, when you got not a love, what? Be happy. Come on, you can dance, clap your hands. I can do it, you can do it. Gonna run this race and we'll never stop. Follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you got such a love, when you got not a love, what? Be happy. Let's see your smiles. Be happy.
Thank you, Tina, for that song. The next thing that we're going to do is listen to another song. Now, this song is all about everybody being welcome. I told you right at the beginning that we were going to talk about invitations and what we were invited to. And we are invited to share our lives with Jesus. That means we're invited to give him the good times and the bad times, to let him help us to celebrate who we are, and also to let him help us feel loved and feel close when we're feeling down. This song is called Everybody's Welcome, and we want you to know that you too are welcome to spend your life with Jesus, and the invitation is there just for you.
Everybody's welcome, anyone can come together in the house of God. Family together, the old and the young will join to worship as one. Everybody's welcome, anyone can come together in the house of God. Family together, the old and the young will join to worship as one. When two or three are gathered in your name, then you promised you would come. You are the reason why we're here today, to give our lives before you now. Everybody's welcome, anyone can come together in the house of God. Family together, the old and the young will join to worship as one. Everybody's welcome, anyone can come together in the house of God. Family together, the old and the young will join to worship as one. We've come to worship you from near and far, here to meet you in this place.